You've taught me that emotion often follows thought.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you have a thought and then the emotions come behind it.
Yes.
Usually not the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm angry, it's usually because I've thought that someone did something to me.
Right.
Maybe I feel sad about it. Maybe
Yes.
a lot of things. Maybe I need a better example. But you understand where I'm coming from.
Mm-hmm.
How do you direct your thoughts so that you can control your emotions better?
How do I direct my thoughts so that I can control my emotions better? You have to intentionally think of good things. I know. So if something comes to my head, I want to whoop her ass. I need something else.
I'm smiling at you because I've heard you say it before and mean it.
Yeah. So
and then the ass whooping. It's been some years, but I think that's what has followed.
My example with that is
you just
said it.
Mm-hmm.
You just said it. When somebody upsets you, you like, I can't wait to see them. You just wait till I see them. What's gonna happen? You're thinking about it. You thinking. When you see them, what you gonna say?
I just saw your sister and you.
When you see them, what you gonna do? So it's like you're constantly thinking about that moment. What's gonna happen? And then when we see them, everything blows up, and that's when people be like, "What happened?"
Yeah, you've manifested those.
You have manifested.
Mm-hmm.
So I say that to say, when that negative thought comes, or when something that you don't want, when that thought comes to your head, acknowledge it, because it's there. It's already there. Okay, now what I'm gonna think about that?
So that is
and replace it.
Let me stop you here because I do struggle with this. As you can see, and I asked this before, I struggle with the acknowledgement part versus focusing on something.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So let me ask the question this way. When I become aware of a thought that I'm having that's real, it's real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how long can I give myself to wallow in that shit before I just decide we're moving on to something else?
Mm-hmm. I don't think you should give yourself long.
Because you just told me you
mm-hmm.
focused on not being pregnant for what, 3 months?
I don't know, it was 10 weeks.
Okay, so it took 10 weeks to see the result of what you believe was a manifestation
mm-hmm.
of your thought, of your intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's deep. I've heard this story before. I'm still processing it. How long do you have to acknowledge your thoughts, do you believe, before they begin to actually become reality?
I think you need to do it as quick as you can. Time waits on no one.
But I gotta acknowledge it. You just told me that.
No, you have to acknowledge it. So if it comes to me, once it's here, okay, I do that a lot.
Is there a 3-second rule, like the food that falls on the floor? Do I get a couple days? Do I, you know what I mean? If it's tragic and
that's where each person is different.
Because whatever you feel
I can't give you a time. I can suggest, especially negative things. Don't give them too much time. I mean, they're there. The attention I want you to put on the negative thoughts is why. Why am I thinking this way? What is the root? Especially if it's something that keeps coming up. If it's a recurring, like recurring withdrawals. If this is a recurring negative emotion that you can't seem to run from, or a negative thought that for whatever reason, it always comes up. I need you to figure out why. Mm-hmm. Because you just saying, okay, I gave it 10 seconds, now I'm going to the next one. It's not going to stop it from coming back. Mm-hmm. So I need you to figure out why. Why do we keep focusing on this thought? Why is this thought keeps coming to the surface?
What if it's an acknowledgement of what happened? Your parents had a stroke. Okay. Your dog died. A tree fell and I don't know, broke something.
That's trauma.
You're walking down the street and you step over a pile of shit. Mm-hmm. And there's a pile of shit. Your brain is going to process that and tell you so you can decide what you want to do about it. Mm-hmm. So I'm not talking about making up awful thoughts. I'm talking about acknowledging your reality so that you can recreate.
And you just said it. You have to acknowledge it.
Uh-huh.
So if your reality is negative, it's okay. Acknowledge it. Acknowledge it. But most of the time, if it's something that we don't want or don't like, that means we want better.
We do.
We want to move on from it some type of way. We don't want it to hold us back from what we really desire and for what we really want to be. So I have to acknowledge. And all the examples that you kind of just named is trauma to me. So, okay, I have experienced this, and now it has me in a negative frame of mind. Okay, what can I do to help myself to move on?
And that's where you go into the brainwashing.
And that's where you go into the brainwashing. Those positive affirmations.
And do you tell yourself that it doesn't exist, or do you tell yourself that it's going to improve?
Whatever it is, it does exist because it's there. Honestly, even if you can't touch it, even if it's not tangible, it's still there. It still exists to you because it's something that you've focusing on, and that's a variable. I call it variable in your life. You know, so now we just need a plan. We just need to know how can we move on from it. Different stuff affect people differently.
So you'll help your clients, including me, develop the right affirmations.
Yes, because it's all
to make the changes that we want to see.
We want it personable. I want it to mean something to you. I don't want you saying it just because everybody else saying it.
Right.
For me, that does nothing for me.
Me neither.
I don't like jumping on the bandwagon just because everybody else is on it.
Don't get me started.
So I need to know how it's going to really help me. And that's what my selfishness. A lot of people think of that word and think of that as negative, but it's not. Sometimes you have to really be selfish to improve yourself. And so let's figure out how we can be a little bit more selfish without it taking from the other people.
From anyone else.
That's it. So,
because when we are better, so are they. Yeah.
And we say that all the time. If I fall down right now, I can't help anybody. If I tap out, everybody else who's quote unquote depending on me or who's looking up to me, I can't help them. I can no longer encourage them because I've tapped out. I haven't replenished me. And it took me a long time to understand that.
I got it.
So.
Okay. Well, those are my questions for the moment. JuJuLynn, tell us, what are your business ventures and how we may reach you for each of them? Well,
again, I'm JuJuLynn, and registered nurse of 20 years, which has given me all the insight. Psychosocial, that's where the life coaching comes in. Sex therapy, event planning, hosting, whatever you need, catering. You can reach me on social media. Facebook is JuJuLynn. Instagram is JuJuLynn11. Hashtag JuJuLynn. Incredible Life. Just reach out. I'm very personable. She's mean. Very mean. I teach you how to spank somebody. I got you. Whatever it is. I'm learning that we can all learn from each other. And just because I'm here to help you, you might end up helping me. I apologize. You might end up helping me in some type of way. So
that's what life is.
That's what life is.
Thank you, Juju.
You're welcome, boo. I love you.
Love you.